Good day. I hope you're having one anyway. Mine's been a little edgy. Anyway, for the sake of brevity, we'll call me Julian right now. And we'll stick to that for the time being. There will be other names learned. Oh wow, it just informed me that there were updates installed. Like I didn't just spend the last 20 minutes knowing this. Anyway, getting sidetracked. That happens all the time. That has been the main fucking problem I have. Always getting sidetracked by one damn thing or another, when all I'm trying to do is have a conversation. With who? With you. With everyone. About what? Everything. There's a conversation not being had that needs to be had, and that's why I'm bothering to create this channel. Now, first question, I'm sure. The Godmaker, what's that? Well, that's not something I can just tell you like in a few sentences and have it sink in. That's going to be, hopefully, a result of the conversation, that understanding. I only came to it recently, which is what inspires me now to try to really start it. Now, my old YouTube channel, as I believe I pointed out in the last video I made for it, mostly drunken bullshit with no direction, because distractions, because ... excuses like assholes, we all have them. And what are assholes full of? Much like excuses. But, here we are. I hope I'm not too late. For what? I don't know. Anything. I hope I'm not late. I've been known to have terrible timing over the course of the years. I've made a lot of mistakes. And I would like to see as much of humanity as possible benefit from what I've learned, both from what I've studied and the mistakes I've made, as possible. Like, I kept trying to do this from my living room couch, and it's just not working out. Somehow the best thoughts seem to come out on the porch. This is the front porch. The side porch is equally creatively helpful. But it's raining right now. Right over there. It's raining in Texas. That's a good thing. We need it. We were in drought for a while. Right now, technically, we're not considered so. Or it is much less severe. Not really the concern here. Although that's a part of everything. Really, our concern here is evolution. Because it's what everything that survives does. No matter what you believe. If you think the religion that you perform on whatever basis, weekly, daily, whatever, is the same exact version of that your forebears did, practiced, performed, believed, well, you're wrong. Your religion has evolved no matter who you are. So has your culture. If it's still alive, it's evolved. It has mutated, it has grown, it has changed. That's what things that survive do. Regardless of our opinions. If we hold to one opinion that never moves, while the world moves around it, we get stuck. You get stuck. Well, the rules of creation, or existence, or whatever in hell you want to call it, seem to be simple. Evolve or die. We argue so much about definitions when we're talking about the same things. It's what you call something. That can cause a war. The ugliest word, in some sense, in any language is the. Why did I start this channel with the? Why did I not say a Godmaker? We'll get into that. Not necessarily today, or at least not this today. You may have noticed that it's always today. It's never tomorrow. Those bars that have those smart aleck signs that say free beer tomorrow, tomorrow never comes. Yesterday don't matter if it's gone, as Keith Richards once wrote. But, yesterday kind of does matter, because yesterday is where we were. And if we don't know where we were, how in the hell do we know where we're going? or where we are. If you don't know where you were, how do you know where you are? Where we're going, that's always up for debate. Always questionable. But we're all here now. Why? Because it's always here now. Of course, this is a recording, so this is me then, at some point. Thank heavens time travel isn't a thing. If it were, confusion. You've seen Terminator movies. That shit never works out. At any rate, we're going to have a conversation about the evolution of everything. And that's the point of this channel, and you'll eventually realize why I named it thus. I had a realization that made everything clear. And I'm going to spend whatever time I have to do it describing that, explaining it in vivid detail, through a wide variety of means, I hope. I'm not going to be... It takes a village, right? I'm not going to be the only person on this channel, I hope. We'll bring in other artists, we'll bring interviewers, and hopefully interviewees. It'll be a conversation, and I'm sure we'll get plenty of trolls, and we'll get plenty of hate, and plenty of people who just have to say something nasty because they can hide behind their internet identities. My other internet identity, well, I have a couple. Like I said, I'm not just down to one name. I am known by one thing on Facebook, which I'll eventually mention. That's not something you do in an introductory piece, nor something you can explain in one. And, well, Julian Walden already exists. If you want to go listen to me babble drunkenly or sing songs or do half-assed Shakespeare, which I did, on that channel, because I couldn't figure out what the fuck to do with it. What was my point? What was I driving at? Well, originally I was kind of trying to promote my own region and our culture. But, goddammit, we're too promoted already. Too many people want to be here. You know, I don't think that's the correct location of Austin, is it? Is it? Yeah, I guess it almost is. That is pretty much where Travis County is. Google got it right. Hell, we'll talk about Google. Google is a new thing. There are lots of new things these days. There weren't for an awfully long time. We'll talk about the old things and how they led to the new things. We'll talk about the things that may be yet. I'm hoping there's a yet, because we live in an age of miracles, the likes of which the world has never known. We live in an age of possibility and potential for advancement for all, like none we've ever lived in before. And oi, it's coming down now. Change the direction of the wind, darling. Go that way. We don't need to get on my screen. Thank you. Wow, that actually seemed to work. These things perpetually amaze me. Some of the things that seem to work, some of the tricks I do. You can't read this thing, I imagine. Well, we'll get into the explaining of that as well. We'll discuss the Illuminati, the evolution of religion, the evolution of culture, the politics. I keep hoping politics will evolve. Boy, does it need to. We better elect a socialist Jew next year. We're fucked. Well, maybe not quite fucked. It's kind of hard to completely ruin such an age of blessings, but some people are trying as best they can. Some people are trying to take us back into old worlds and slavery. Some people are trying to reverse our progress. Why? You know, I don't know. I really don't know. In case you can't tell, I'm not a Republican. But you can't really call me a Democrat either. In fact, trying to figure out what the hell I am may provoke a lot of thought, because I will say things unpredictable. I will say things politically incorrect. I will say things that most people just don't have the nerve to say out loud and in public. because I've seen enough. The fact that I'm still alive, as time will show, is a miracle unto itself. We live in an age of them, like I keep saying. Hell, you can watch porno on your phones. Nobody predicted that shit on the Jetsons or in Back to the Future. Look at the future they predicted. People were dressed stupidly. There was another Jaws movie. And what, hoverboards? Somehow a DeLorean still looked futuristic. They kind of did back then. We're going to talk about art, because art is not far from the process of God making. I'm not going to get too into the God making thing now, except to say it's something we can all do. As we evolve, as we grow, as we progress, as we move forward into processes strange and unpredictable. We're going somewhere. We have to decide where. In order to decide where, we have to know where the hell we are, which means we have to know where we got there from. Whatever you believe, just know I'm trying to help. Some of you are going to hate me if you notice me at all. My old channel got nowhere, but this time I have help. We'll see where this one goes. Will it evolve? Will it grow? Will it advance? If not, it will die. Some things are in the process of dying right now because they refuse. They want to stay in place. They want to stand still. They don't want to change. They don't want anyone else to change either. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's one thing. Everybody has the right to choose their fate. If you wish to stand still, well, don't be surprised when you get run over. And, well, it's not like some of us didn't try to tell you. If you don't want to stand still, it may be wise to listen to me. Do I really think a YouTube channel can make much of a bloody difference? In this age of media, who the hell knows? Maybe the right person will hear this. Maybe the right person will join the conversation, or the right people, who can then take it further when I am here no longer. The fact that I made it this far is quite amazing. He says as he relights his cigarette. Yeah, I'm still addicted to nicotine. I still do this. Hell, if you were me, so would you. You'll figure that out in the long run. I kicked sugar. Well, the kind... This isn't sugar until it hits your liver. It's my teeth that can't have it. I fucked myself up pretty good. And I mean to spend the rest of my life making up for my self-indulgences and errors as much as I can, while still enjoying life. You got to enjoy life. Enjoying life, I think, is what causes survival, more than what diet you have, or whether or not you work out, or what God you think you believe in, or what God you worship. That's one of those very important things. Now, the atheist community just thinks we can do without gods altogether. We live in an age of reason, but even they, whether they know it or not, most likely fail in this. They have their stories. They have myths they are partial to, and legends that they take lessons from. So do we all. So should we. The legends are a conversation. The religions are a conversation. Politics are still way too much people talking at you, not with you. And that has to change. We have to evolve to the point of the almighty Google, which is the furthest edge of evolution we know today. And I'm not just kissing Google's ass because it owns YouTube. I'm really quite fond of Google. I think it's an amazing thing. Miracle. I keep saying that word. Miracle. Miracle. Bloody hell, we live We live in a miracle. I look around me, just at my neighborhood, and it's a nice, quiet, suburban-ish neighborhood. They must wonder what I'm doing, the people around. I don't know. Who's that weird man, and why is he always talking at his computer or at himself? Why is he monologuing continually? What's the point? And I'll admit, I do that even when no machines are running and there's no one there to hear me. If a Godmaker sits alone in a room drinking beer, monologuing to thin air, does he speak? Self-indulgence, or practice, depending on how I choose to look at it. It varies from day to day. At any rate, we've nearly come to the end of this cigarette, and I see no reason for this video to get any longer. There will be many more. I intend to do my best to make this matter, to some degree, however much I can, with what limited resources I have. I've blown through a lot of resources not doing this. It's time I made up for it. Who am I that I have lessons to give? I don't know. Who are you? Lots of us think we have lessons to give. If we didn't, why would we bother speaking? We all have something to say, don't we? Maybe I have as much to say as I think I do. More and more people convince me. Ooh, wind's picking up. At any rate, let's call this a conclusion for now. Well, not a conclusion, but an interruption, an intermission, as it were. Let us pause. I drink to thee, whoever you are, and I love you. Well, I don't love all of you. I don't love Donald Trump. I'm sorry, I just don't. But I'm still rambling. I will ramble a great deal. I hope it's educational to some degree. I hope the right people think, even if no one else does. And, well, I hope to show you something you've already seen, perhaps, but from a new angle. Well, I suppose that's it for the moment. 93. Namaste. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. May the force be with you.